continents now, to a story that has resonated quite deeply in East Africa and I think the whole continent. The election of Zohran Mamdani as mayor of New York City. He's the first Muslim to ever hold that post and the first candidate born in Africa to do so. He was born in Kampala, Uganda, before moving to the US. There was also a short stint of his family being here in South Africa. And yeah, his victory is sparking a lot of pride, a lot of reflection and debate in his country of origin. And we're going to be getting a reaction from Uganda straight. The current mayor of New York City is born, and joining us now to unpack the Ugandan reaction is our good friend Musinguzi Goodluck, journalist and editor at Kigezi News out in Uganda. Musinguzi, thank you for being with us once again. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm very fine. Greetings from. My location is not in Uganda currently, but I'm very happy to join.
No worries at all. You only speak to us from Uganda, so it's almost a norm to assume that you're there. But let's jump right into it. Your immediate reaction, the reaction of Ugandans to Mamdani's election as the mayor of New York City. Did it resonate? Did it feel like it was one of yours, a Ugandan who's now holding office in one of the most major cities in the world?
Thank you very much. The father, Mamdan, is the one who is more known in Uganda. He has impacted so much on the academic landscape. He studied with the current president, and he has also been a critic of our government. And therefore, when the son wins, unlike before, we have had Ugandans, especially of Indian origin, who have attained in office in different countries, especially in Europe. And taking over definitely New York would be a great celebration. It is something inspiring. Even us as a country, as we speak, we are going through an election. And therefore, it is the talk on the streets. And because many people thought because President Trump was against him, he couldn't win, and therefore they are very surprised that a Ugandan of somebody who has stayed with them has won. And I talked to a few people who said they can't wait for the day when he visits Uganda, and therefore it is a great celebration, and most especially to those who have been having challenges going to America and asking, will he change policies? Could Ugandans maybe find themselves in looking for opportunities in New York? Yes.
As Africans, there's almost a should I say an emphasis on identity. It's about culture for us, it's about tradition, it's about how you look, how you speak, how you carry yourself. Are there certain aspects of Ugandan culture, Ugandan being, if I can put it that way, that Ugandans see in Zohran Mamdani and kind of resonate with?
They expect him to be hardworking. He has been in Uganda, having grown up here. The father has the family being in Uganda. They were not here in Uganda because they liked it or not, but they knew that hard work. That's what made his father rise up to work in the prestigious Makerere University, and be a man who would speak on every topic that Ugandans would respect. They would say, Professor Mamdan has said something. And therefore, the son must carry that and know that he is going to, either make the name or destroy the name of the family. And therefore, as Ugandans, we are known for hard work when we are given an opportunity. Not so many of us, have made it international fora. Uh, but I can assure you, those who have had an opportunity, they must exhibit hard work. There is no room for failure, because remember that the other people will be looking up to you. The young and the middle-aged will be saying his success means quite a lot. And you know, we have had a very funny story in Uganda, especially when President Idi Amin chased away the Indians. And that must be something of a reminder to him that all people are the same. People must be treated equally, and he must listen to the minorities, because he once faced, um, you know, discrimination that comes with it. And therefore, Uganda being a cosmopolitan, you know, place, I don't know how many tribes we have. I don't know how many refugees we have. People from all over the countries are here. They are able to live with one another. And therefore, I find that he will be able to assimilate. But most importantly, I would expect him to uh, put a hand of reaching out to those who were against, you know, who didn't vote for him, the other voice, so that he can be able to listen to them. And because that's what makes us Ugandans. I remember when he made a contribution to South Africa, to the liberation of South Africa, it was, we knew we were going to spend resources and money, we were going to risk so much, but nevertheless we did. And when South Africa won, today we are proud. And therefore he must work so hard, must reach out, must know that people are very different. Yes, in elections you pull ropes, you say kinds of things that you know will make you win. But after winning, you must know that in our culture we say that when you have wrestled somebody down, you don't push them again to kill them. You don't suffocate them to death. You, you stretch your hand, lift them, and move on. And that's what the culture of Uganda is. Because, and he also knows that we are a religious country, we are a prayerful people, we are a land of martyrs, and and therefore his behavior, his success will go back to Uganda and make us proud as a country. Yeah.
No, most definitely, most definitely. I was scrolling through X, Twitter, yesterday, and I saw a post that actually the government of Uganda, the official government of Uganda's X account responded to. It was from a Republican representative, Andy Ogles. He posted a photo from Uganda, you know, the typical what Africa looks like kind of photo, with the caption that went like, Zohran Mamdani will destroy New York. This is what it will look like. And he also said he must be deported, and this was just after hours after he was elected as the mayor of New York. And there was a really beautiful response from the government of Uganda. It read like, Uganda is a beautiful, resilient, and fast-growing nation, home to innovation, culture, and opportunity. We encourage respectful dialogue and discourage the use of misinformation or stereotypes to demean nations or their people. This was a response to that post by Republican Representative Andy Ogles. When you see things like this, you know, this kind of xenophobic undertone rhetoric that's targeting your countrymen, that's targeting a fellow African, also for myself, what goes through your mind? And do you foresee him facing more challenges like this, where in the US he's told he doesn't belong, he's told you're not one of us, you should be deported, you must go back home, you're not an American?
Thank you very much. For us, whenever challenges have come, we don't look the other way. We face them, and I know he has the training to know that if the father survived Idi Amin Dada and the others who survived and they never died, he knows that he has come to serve. That those, you know, messages from here and there, they are nothing to us. And that's why when you look at our history, even now as we guarantee the security of most of East African countries and in the Central Republic, Ugandans are people who, when you talk us, even trying to put us down, it doesn't enter, because we have gone through so much. We know we are different. We have so many tribes that we don't speak the same language, but somehow we have forged to stay together. And therefore we know that there will be people who will say they don't like you. But if they say they don't like you, that doesn't take away the opportunity has been given to you by the majority under democracy. And therefore, I don't expect him to be shaken, but I know that he will rise. He comes at the time when the government shut down in America, when Trump has been seen to be the only man in the arena, and the Democrats, they were boxed up in a corner for so many reasons I wouldn't want to discuss here. And therefore, it is his opportunity to rise up, to know that xenophobic things, issues, anybody, at the end of the day, when you go back home and you have been in office and you have made a service to the people who voted for you, that is the most important part. But I have never seen Ugandans being brought down by those sentiments. And through our leaders, much as there has been mistakes here and there, we are people who are so resilient, and we never take that for an offense. Even in Africa, we have had our people, had challenges in different African countries, and all this, even in South Africa. But that one, for example, let me give you an example. During COVID-19, we were producing sanitizer through our bananas and all that. And therefore, there were people who were suggesting to the government of Uganda that, no, we need this sanitizer, we shouldn't export it, it will be less for us. The government of Uganda said, no, export, let those who have been making make more, and so that we share with the African brothers and we share with the world, because this is a product needed. And therefore, I want him to have that spirit of knowing that he has been elected to serve, but his star could shine beyond New York. He could be the next president of the United States. The Democrats are in disarray. They need a leader. They need somebody who, and therefore it is him to rise up and say, I am here, use me. I've been tested because of my history, but also where we come from. We words and write-ups don't matter so much. What matters is what is before you, is the assignment before you. You do it with your best, and the end will justify the means.
Just lastly, before I let you go, January is just around the corner. Ugandan elections. I think just last month, we got word that the official opposition leader, Bobi Wine, is cleared to run against Museveni. Just give us a rundown on the latest on that end. I'm sure it's all steam ahead. Things are starting to take shape as you guys lead up to go vote.
Yes, I think we are in the 7th week. The campaigns, it's a roller coaster. I see the two presidential candidates, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and Bobi Wine or Chagulanyi Robert. They address 2 districts each day, and these are very many distances apart. And therefore, it has been hard work. His campaign, he's been showing pictures on the road, showing challenges of the roads. It's also a rainy season in our country. And therefore, it's been a number of games, and I can see each candidate shares pictures, say, I've had the most big rallies in the place. he Bobi Wine says that, you see, wherever I go, I'm like a magnet. Young people, many people come running to me to hear my message. But also the other camp, the president of Uganda, so his team has been showing great numbers. And therefore, one of the most interesting things is that violence has not been part of this. Unlike last time, when we had push and pull, um, so far we have not had any major issue that could, could be any of something sticky. So people, we expect a peaceful campaign, and to those who will win, will win. And like I told you last time, I think if Bobi Wine was to win the presidency, he would have minority in parliament and in local governments. In local governments, he has fielded 7% of the candidates, and in the parliamentary seats, interestingly, no party has presented the majority. The independents, twice or thrice more than the first party, which is National Resistance, which has provided crossed 400, and Bobi Wine has also provided cross 300 candidates, and therefore it tells a lot that whoever wins, if the opposition wins the presidency, they would definitely need a hand from the other national resistance movement to work with. If President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni wins again, it will have shown that he will still have a majority in parliament. Because even as we speak, I think we have close to 10 people who have gone through and opposed. And we have another segment of like 30 people where the opposition never fielded anybody, and the competition is between those who are. So it is there, but what we all know is that when there is an election, there must be an exchange of views on issues that, yes, for example, one of the sticker issues, as we speak now, even last night in Kampala, there was tear gas, was because when the floods came, they have destroyed people's businesses in the central business of Kampala, because one of the supporters of government built over a water system and crossed it, and water has failed to, so it has ended up destroying people's businesses. And therefore in the city of Kampala and in central Uganda, that's where there is so much opposition. But with the rains destroying so much and people asking for so much compensation, it's going to be a very big voting issue in Kampala city, and that definitely is against the current government.
There you go. Musinguzi Goodluck, Ronald. Always a pleasure chatting to you, and congratulations to the people of Uganda. I think this is a watershed moment. One of your own being, the mayor of one of the biggest and major cities in the world, but you can't claim him. He has a bit of RSA in his DNA. He was educated in Cape Town, spent some time here, so we also have a share. Thank you so much, my brother. Hope we chat again soon.
Welcome. Thank you, sir.
There you go. Musinguzi Goodluck. Thank you. Always giving, I think, sharp insights. Our brother from Uganda. And yeah, to our listeners, whether you're tuning in from Johannesburg or across the continent, I think Zohran Mamdani's story is a reminder that global politics and personal identities are increasingly intersect. Imagine Mayor of New York celebrated in the streets of Kampala. It's amazing, man. South African, as I mentioned, us also, a bit of RSA in his DNA, educated here in Cape Town. His family spent some time here. So I think we also have a reason to celebrate a bit, eh? We can't call him one of our own entirely like the people of Uganda can, but I think we can stretch it a bit. Going to take a quick break. News and views continues after this.